everyone, and welcome to today's fitness focus flow class. So one of the things that I've noticed during this isolation period, especially for me anyway, I was able to stay in for a month. And I didn't go out at all. I didn't go into the stairs at all. I do have a condition that is more at risk, so for me it feels safer to stay in. But then I went out to get groceries, and I realized at what point my muscles in my thighs were much looser, and therefore, oh hello Layla, were much looser, and therefore I could feel the bones kind of clicking on each other, and I didn't feel any stability in my hips anymore, and that's because I hadn't been walking in a month. And so we can see all of the types of problems that come from that when we don't walk at all, when we don't do any kind of exercises. So when that happened, I thought, okay, we need to find exercises to at least stabilize and strengthen our legs. So today we're going to do some of those exercises. So things to remember: always make sure that you're breathing well in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to start, or through the nose, by the way, we're going to start in a table position for the first series of exercises. I need to warn you, these are a little bit intense, so do what you can. I'm not going to be doing a lot of reps, but the accumulation does come in. Just do what you can, and whatever you're doing, do it slowly, do it mindfully, and remember to breathe. Yeah, that's always very important. All right. So we're going to start in a table position. We want our hands to be a little bit forward of our shoulders. Make sure that our elbows are slightly bent, so this is going to make you work your triceps as well, which is always good. Make sure that you're contracting your abs, so navel to the spine always, and curl that tailbone under. That's really, really important to protect your lower back, especially in these exercises that we're going to do. What's a good thing, by the way, parenthesis, is if you're not sure if you are protecting your lower back or curling the tailbone enough, you can use a mirror in front of which you're doing the exercise. But even better, if you can film yourself with your phone, or if you have a camera, do that just so that you can see if you are indeed making sure that your tailbone is curled under. All right, so the first exercise that we're going to do, we're going to place the left leg between both of our hands that are about shoulder width apart. They can be wider if you so wish. What's important is that you feel stable. We're going to lift the thigh parallel to the ground, and we're going to have the foot parallel to the ceiling. So try not to have just the heel going up. Try to have a 90-degree bend at the hip and at the knee. So what's really important here is that when we do this exercise, most people go into the lower back and they arch the lower back. We really don't want to do this. We want to make sure that we're keeping the tailbone nice and strong, activated, and then we're pushing that foot ideally parallel to the ceiling, right? And you should be feeling in that glute. That's what you want to be activating. Now, of course, what you might not be realizing yet is that your other leg is also working, right? So you don't want to slouch your hip here. You want to make sure that you're nice and strong in that supporting hip. We're going to do 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. And now we're going to switch sides. So I'm switching sides on my mat so that you can see properly. So again, curl the tailbone. Make sure that you're breathing well into the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to lift that thigh parallel to the ground, foot parallel to the ceiling. Good. And now we're going to pump. So again, make sure that you're not arching the lower back. You can exhale as you're pushing up towards the ceiling. We're going to do 2 more. 1 and 2. Beautiful. So you should be feeling now these glutes nice and working. Okay, so now, same thing. You can place your leg as you see fit, either in the center of the hands or underneath your hip. It's up to you to create balance. You can have your hands wider. You could lean lower. as long as you're not breaking structure. All right, this one is the more intense one, or at least one of them. So we're going to put our leg parallel to the ground. We want to bring our heel close to our buttocks. We're going to curl the toes up because that activates all of the muscles. Now wait for it. We're going to go up almost to our heads, and then we're going to swing it all the way to the back and then come back. So we want to go forwards, try to stay parallel as much as possible to the ground, and then go back. So now your support buttocks or hip should be feeling this. Make sure that you're always breathing well. We're going to do 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. Now I'm switching sides because I don't have a choice. I need the space. All right, so that might be your case as well. So again, make sure you're curling that tailbone under. Your hands are in front of your shoulders, not directly underneath. We bring the leg parallel to the ground. We go forward, want to go towards our heads, and then we come back. So forward, back, keep the leg parallel to the ground. And make sure that you're breathing. Can you feel those? I'm sure you're feeling those, right? So both the leg that's doing the work and the support leg are feeling it. This is the last one. Beautiful. All right. So we're going back, exercising our right leg. So same position now. We want to make sure now that our knee, our support leg is directly underneath our hip. So now we're going to, again, make sure that you're curling the tailbone under. We're going to lift the right leg. Prevent yourself from arching, right? So you want to feel this in the glutes. We're going to point the toes to stretch and elongate the leg out. And then we're going to bring it in the knee and then out. Gently lift. Don't arch the lower back. In and out. Again, in and out. In and out. And last time, and out. Beautiful. And we switch. All right, so same thing. Make sure you're nice, strong balance. Contract those abs. Good. We're going to extend. So now I have to move a little bit further. So extend. Make sure that you're nice and settled, and make sure that you're not shifting your hips either, yeah? So I'm going to be here and then bring it in. And stretch it out, yeah? You want to pull that leg out of that hip socket, yeah? We're going to do 2 more. So this is our second to last. You really want to feel that in that glute as you're bringing it back up. Beautiful. And come back down. All right. How does that feel? That's right. All right, so now we're going to sit into a Shin Box position. Oh, I'm so sorry. I realized that the computer... I'm so sorry, Layla. There you go. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go into a Shin Box. So again, we're going to be working that hip again. And now what we want to do is we want to put the toes out. And we want to lift the whole leg. So you can lean on the floor with your hand, but ideally try to not put all of your weight, because not only are we working our thigh, we're also working our beautiful obliques, yeah? Ideally, you would want to potentially lean or not even lean on your thigh. See what works for you, right? When we're starting this, it's not always so easy. And so we just want to lift, and we want to make sure that the whole leg lifts, right? So we don't want to just do this. It's a different exercise altogether. We just really want to lift the whole leg. We're going to feel it in the hip. Oh yeah, you should be feeling it everywhere. Make sure that you're breathing, yeah? So that's really important. And here I'm not leaning on my thigh, I'm just leaving my arm there, yeah? But I could be here or here. Good. So now we're going to remove a little bit of the tension here. We're going to swing that leg forward, and then we're going to swing it back, but you're keeping it up. Swing the leg forward, swing it back. Beautiful. We're going to do it one last time. Forward. Keep that contraction in the abs, and back. Beautiful. All right, we're going to switch sides. All right, beautiful. So same thing. You can lean on your hand, lean on the leg, not lean at all. It depends on the level of challenge that you would like. Make sure that you're curling the toes up so that you're contracting, you're engaging all of those beautiful muscles. And exhale, lift. So it's so important, right? We're not doing this, right? Because if I'm doing this, I'm not working my hip. Yeah, I'm not working anything. So you really want to isolate that motion. Good. Oh yeah, and the other thing is that we want to try to relax everything else, right? We just want to contract this leg. We don't want to be tense in our hands and our shoulders and our necks. So as soon as you know what the move is, you can relax everything else. Yeah, and now we're going to swing forward. Ah, release of the hip, and then back. And then forward, and then back. Forward, and back. And we're going to do one last one. Forward, and back. Beautiful. So just to kind of release our hips a little bit, we're going to do what we like to call the windshield wipers. So I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. So we're going to go onto our hands now. You can relax the upper body. And so we're just going to have the knees nice, the feet nice and wide. And we're just going to bring the knees down to one side. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale to the other side. So this is supposed to be really, really good. Like you should feel like beautiful release. So I'm shifting my feet around because I don't have a lot of space. You wouldn't, you would just leave your feet there. Yeah? Good. And last one. So this is meant to be relaxing and releasing for the hips. Yeah? Okay, so now we're going to sit on our couch or on a chair. So this is what I realized when I went out for my errands, is that I wasn't working those thigh muscles. So we're going to work on that a little bit, yeah? So one of the muscles to work is the hamstring, and there's kind of that pulling motion, right? When we're walking, we're pulling, we're engaging our hamstrings to bring ourselves forward. So we're kind of going to emulate that somewhat. So it's true, I said a chair, but it might be better a couch. Actually, what you need is something that you can push your heel against, because that's how you're going to emulate that sensation. And you want to sit back as much as possible. So hopefully you have a surface that you can apply your heel on and then pull against, right? Or push against. And so the idea is that as you're pushing, it's continuous. So now we're contracting the hamstrings constantly. As we're doing this, we want to contract the abs, make sure that our backs are nice and straight, exactly the shoulders are back, our chest is nice and strong, make sure that your tailbone is curled under, yeah? And what's really important is that you don't want to forget, I'm not contract, So you want to contract constantly. You bring those toes up so that engages your muscles more. And you just want to feel, you can touch, right? When we touch the muscles, it allows us to realize, oh yeah, it's contracted, because sometimes we can't feel them. And this, you want to do a continuous pull, which is quite challenging actually when we've never done that before. We don't realize how much we release and then recontract, yeah? And for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath in. Exhale and release. Yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna press the heel on the And make sure that you're sitting back, right? So you don't want to have your knee bent like this. You want a good 90 degrees. Good. So, and again, so make sure that you're positioning everything correctly, contracting your abs, curl the tailbone under, and now make sure that your shoulders are nice and low, chest is nice and strong, and pull. Make sure that you're breathing, inhaling through the nose, yes. Exhaling through the nose or through the mouth. For this, usually through the mouth is a little bit better. Good. And as you're doing this, now you want to keep that contraction and have that signal, right? From your brain to your muscles, through your nervous system. Yeah, I need to keep that contraction. But as you're contracting here, you don't want to be tense anywhere else, right? So you don't want to contract anything that doesn't need to be contracted. So you don't want to be like this as you're doing this, yeah? All right, we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and relax. Ooh, yeah. Shake it all up. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All right, so now we're going to go back onto the floor. So now what we want is we want to push, we want to lift the leg. My apologies, I had a bit of a blank. So now we're going to lean against that couch so that we're not thinking about anything else, but you could absolutely do this fully straight. Again, go at your pace, go where you're at. That's really, really important. So now we want to keep one leg relaxed. You can keep it extended or you can have it bent. It is up to you, whatever suits your knees. We're going to pull the toes back, so we should feel that the heel is kind of coming off of the mat or off of the floor, but now we want to lift that long leg. And we're just going to stay there. You should be feeling that. Feel the quads. Feel the quads. Feel the hip flexors. Make sure that you're breathing. And make sure that you're not tensing up your shoulders or anything else, yeah? Now we stay for 5, 4, 3. If you have shakes, it's good. 2, 1. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and release. All right, second leg. So again, you are free to bend that other leg, but you don't have to, yeah? Whatever suits your needs, your needs. All right, so we're gonna flex those toes back, make sure that you're nice and straight, curl that tailbone, contract those abs, and we lift. Beautiful. You might even feel a nice stretch in the calves as you're doing this. It's not the purpose, but you know, the more you pull through that heel, the more you pull those toes towards your nose, the more of a nice calf stretch you can have, yeah? But you should be feeling those quads working here. Now, if this is not challenging enough, which can happen, you can also use weights, right? Ankle weights, wrist weights, or even those bean bags, you know, that you have for your neck. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and release. Yeah, very good. So again, we're going to do windshield wipers, yeah? So make sure that you're fully on the matted surface. I'm doing this just so that you can see the full movement. But ideally, you want your feet to be both on the same surface, same height, yeah? Make sure that you're breathing well. We are almost done. We are now going to go for the final stretch. Beautiful. All right, so I promise you I'm not going to make you do the plank. For this one, I just want you to stretch out your calves. So we are going to go in a top push-up position. And we're just going to extend, so one leg is supporting us, so the knee underneath of the hip. And we're just going to extend that foot back. And we want to be on the ball of the foot, and we want to push our heel back. Make sure that you're curling the tailbone. And this is not meant to be difficult for the arms or for the abs. It's just a nice stretch for the calf. Make sure that you're always breathing in through the nose, especially here out through the mouth, because there's often a lot of tension in our calves. Deep exhales. Yeah, take a deep breath in. Exhale, we release and we bring it in. Beautiful. And again, take a deep breath in. Exhale, we bring that left leg back, ball of the foot. Now, if you're wearing socks and you're sliding, like I am kind of, remove your socks. And make sure that you're pushing through that heel, right? The more we extend the heel, the more of a pull we have on the calves. Of course, never do this injuriously, right? It's always about respecting where you're at, what you're capable of. Keep a gentle contraction in your abs. Always, of course, make sure that your tailbone is curled under so you're protecting your lower back. Beautiful. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale and release. All right, we're going to come back into a Shin Box position. We're going to stretch our quads now. So we're just going to take the ankle and we're just going to pull the heel towards the glutes, the buttocks. What's important here is, again, you never want to force. You just want to allow. But some of us are very flexible here. And so this stretch, if we're here, it's not enough. So that's why we're kind of leaning away and we're pulling the knee, we're pulling the knee away from the hip, right? So the more of an extension that we have here, the more of a stretch that we have. What's important is I'm moving quite a bit, but make sure that you are doing movements very slowly, so that you're not injuring yourself as you're trying to stretch and release tension, yeah? The other thing that you can do is you can take your hip and bring it forward, and so that, beautiful, will deepen that stretch, yeah? You can also bend that elbow, pull that back even more. Whatever you're doing, do it slowly. There's no such thing as too slow. Beautiful. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to release. That thigh should be feeling all nice and floaty. All right, we're going to go to the other side. So same thing, grab the ankle, lean into it, pull that heel towards the buttocks. You may find that one side is easier than the other. That's a good realization to have. It just shows that there's a bit of an imbalance there. The goal is to make things more balanced. Sometimes there's a side that works more than the other, so that's also a sign, right? That a muscle might be more activated on one side than on the other. And therefore, when we're more activated, the stretch feels much better. We feel it much more deeply. Feel free to shift your hip forward to deepen that stretch. And as you're breathing, we take deep inhales and deep exhales so that we release that completely. Take a deep breath in and exhale and we release. Very nice. All right, we're going to go onto our knees. You can go onto your couch. You can have your legs crossed. We're now going to close the session. Whatever position you wish to take, what's important is that you are comfortable and that you have space behind you, yeah? All right, so we're going to interlace our fingers. Inhale, stretch it up. Keep the lungs full. Exhale and release. Pull, 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 pull. Stretch, 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 stretch. Good. And I'm moving, but you don't need to. Interlace the fingers back. Inhale, stretch, open the chest. Look up. You can close your eyes. Pull the shoulder blades back. Exhale and release. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. For those of you online, please stay there. I will give you a personalized goodbye. For those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any comments or any exercise or part of the body that you would like to do. Just know that we are having a lot of videos on exercises and strength, but we will also be having quite a few exercises on stretch. So we'll have all of these different types of classes on meditation and flowy kind of classes. Lots to come. So please let me know again if you need anything, if you have any questions. In the meantime, stay safe, stay strong, and stay true to you.